so fun. Yeah, so I knew I wouldn't be as dolled up as you, but I at least wore my, I never can tell where to move. It's always opposite, but I wore my little
right,
girl.
right. I was just doing that with my hair part. I was like, wait, now which side is it on
I
again?
know. I kept doing that. I'm like, this feels so weird. I know. And I was going to say, see, what's fun about your pink hair is it's not having overgrown quarantine hair. You can do whatever. I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, I need a haircut. But
oh my gosh, you should have seen her before though. She looked haggard. She needed to style up, and all of the stylists are down. So y'all got to get on the YouTubes and watch the video tutorials to see how it's done. So
yeah, I bet, right? But you already probably have done this. Like you already know.
Oh yeah, well that, and I've watched like specific tutorials to learn how to like tease the hair and then pull it all together and all of that. Yeah.
Yes, clearly this is like everyone's going to be better at do-it-yourself everything.
Oh my gosh. Well, you can't go anywhere. I mean, nails, you just got to throw them on and glitter them yourself, girl.
I love it. Oh, so
well, thank you.
I mean, the last time I saw you, we were at like a 7-year-old's birthday party, I think.
Yes.
It's been a while.
There were so many kids running around and there was birthday happening. My goodness.
It was awesome. I loved everything you had. I loved your whole energy with them.
Oh, thank you. No, you're fabulous. I'm so glad that you invited me to do this.
Yay! Thank you. So let's see. Let me just jump in. Maybe let me ask you, I guess, can I ask when Iona was born or how maybe?
Yes. Oh, I love that question. That one's my favorite. Well, so I actually started drag around 2008 or so. I moved to the Hollywood area of California, and I actually knew Alaska Thunder before she became, Alaska Thunder on RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
So the whole Netflix documentary series, Circus of Books, where she's on it.
Oh, I didn't know.
I used to work right next to the porn store next to hers. So she used to work at like the upscale version, and I worked at the broke version called Love Connection. We're the right one, no connection, but to try to get that money, honey. Yeah, and she originally named me Petunia Bonaparte 5000, and right, which is a great name. Don't negate the name at all. I just didn't see very much of her going anywhere. There was kind of like this, like, okay, well, who is she? Where does she fit in the place of drag? And I didn't really see any. I was like, damn. Well, I feel like I've kind of been pigeonholed a little bit. So I was like, you know what? We're not going to keep this. We're not going to take it. And I decided to kill her off. My old drag character, Petunia.
Really? Like dramatically? Like actually?
Oh yes. We're gonna release some videos here soon. Iona's whole backstory, and it's a video like compilation.
Did you kill Petunia?
Well, in a way. So Petunia goes out for one last night on the town in West Hollywood, and she was kind of a bitch. Let's see if I can imitate her voice. Yeah, hey guys, how's it going? Yeah, she was like very like smoking cigarettes and booze drinking girl, and I just
that feels also a little harder to keep up.
Good.
Right.
Just the impersonation alone, I'm like spitzing. But she had one last hurrah, and then she finds a toxic hot dogs off of the side of the road and eats it and goes into an eternal slumber. And from this slumber, Iona Uradreams awakens inside her body. And
oh, interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to do something with her, and I want it to all be about dreams. And so Iona's whole backstory is that she is the facilitator of dreams and has been from the beginning of time. And her husband is the Sandman. And as he puts you to sleep, Iona does her magic and works the dreams. And it's kind of the story that's always been untold. We always hear about the Sandman and all the glory he does, but, I do all the work. So I thought this would be this kind of fun, like theatrical retelling of a story that you've never heard before.
I love that.
And so on Iona's side, she has been outsourced to a giant machine and like computer, basically. do the technology age. And so she's not really doing anything but like random maintenance checks on it and things like that. And one day she finds a service panel that she's never really seen before, and like turns it and goes inside, and crawls inside and goes into the giant like dream machine and gets teleported to the human realm. And that's when she appears inside Petunia's body at that same time that she goes into an eternal slumber. So it's like this like cosmic amazing like just happenstance that it all worked at the same time. But Petunia's back at where Iona used to live, in the realm of dreams and imagination, and Iona is here on Earth trying to make dreams come true, but all she can do is be human. So
that can be challenging for us when we want to make dreams come true, but we are human.
Exactly.
Oh, I love your origin story. It's very dramatic and cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's different. I like that I have something to say more than, well, your name is Iona Uradreams. Tell us more about you. A lot of the a lot of the drag queens in West Hollywood, they're like, well, yeah, I'm like whatever because I'm pretty, and like, oh, it's a funny name, or like, and that's it. There's end of conversation. And well, I'm going to tell you a story. You've got a drag queen in front of your face. I'm going to give you something to think about. So
no, I love that. I didn't even know that I was inspired to ask you how Iona was born, but that is like an amazing story.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that. And I love that it's about dreams. I love that so much.
Yeah, well, and like Iona wants to be that light within the darkness to help you and your dreams come true. And I've been working on projects, and hopefully I can help start making that for some performers. So we'll see.
I love that. Now, wait, because you have something coming out of virtual, like a kind of virtual cabaret that you're a part of.
Yeah, it's called Virtual Variety. It's a 24/7 streaming drag show. And we're going to get performers from all over the world to host and perform live.
Yes. Wait, so all drag performers, or all drag performers?
Well, yeah, drag queens and kings and other fabulous creatures, in between, because there's a spectrum.
There are plenty of variations. I was just saying, because I was like, you wouldn't have someone who looks like me probably singing on there. No.
Oh, we could. If you wanted to throw on something fabulous and do up your makeup and sing for us, hell yeah, that's the point of it. It's if you're a performer and you want to perform, this is all just to have this like free art space where you can just be yourself.
I love that. Well, that's kind of what I want to do with this channel, really. I mean, because one of my favorite things in the world is just discovering people who I find interesting and talented, who I don't think enough people know about, maybe, or I think, and so I love that. I have the same kind of dream.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it's that dream to be able to find somebody and harness and inspire them in some way.
I just love that your outreach was beyond, clubs. It was with kids too, and wanting their dreams. And I love that.
Oh, thank you. It was so much fun. I really do love seeing their eyes light up, and they're like, what is going on? And they ask so many amazing questions, and you're like,
I do.
Well, how do I explain this to a child? And I love that, because it makes
you like that challenge?
Such more realistic terms for people. This is just the way that I express myself. I see things and I'm like, that has a resonance to the character I am, and that's why I do that, or in this way. And it's so amazing to hear a child and what they have to say about it. And, well, why don't you do this and this and this? Well, because I don't want to, and you can be quite frank with them too. They understand that as well.
I love that, because that's actually how we start, by saying, I want to do this, therefore I'm going to do it. I don't want to do this. That's why I'm not doing it. How about that? And I think a lot of times, yes, when we're expressing ourselves fully, we're much more childlike than.
Yeah. We know how to tap into our own imagination space and own inner child, and realize, wait, things aren't as complicated as we seem or think they are. Like, just this fabulous. That's how it is. There is no other way.
There, it's like that simple. I am and I do because it's fabulous.
Right?
All the explanation needed.
Exactly.
Now, have you lived in Hollywood always, or where did you grow up? Or
so, well, I was actually
LA?
born in Japan, being in the military. Yeah, I was born in Misawa, and the hospital that I was actually born in is no longer there, because of all just removing of the city and everything. I lived in Europe until I was about like 7 or 8 or so, and then we started moving state to state, just depending on where my father was stationed. So yeah, we didn't really get a sense of like, people are like, oh, I knew them from when I was like a kid. I'm like, yeah, I don't know any of those people.
Oh, right, because you were like, I only knew him for a short time and then moved on. Was it so hard as a kid, or were you just so used to it? It was your normal.
Oh yeah. And that's where it is hard for me to make friends because I don't really feel like I belong really anywhere, but that's, to an advantage too, where I feel like the whole world is kind of my, place to live, and and everybody's house is just a new like location to just meet somebody fabulous. And
I love that.
Yeah, as much as it was like not fun senior year, not really knowing anybody, I was kind of glad because it didn't keep me there,
Oh, right. So it was easy for you to get up and go then.
Yeah. Well, and California has actually been the longest place that I've lived. I lived here for over 10 years now, and that's the longest time I've done anything in my life besides work. Like, so it is.
How long have you been married?
Just under 10.
Oh, okay.
9 and yeah.
It'll be today is 11 years.
Today is actually our 11-year anniversary
of like your first date
of knowing each other. Yeah.
Aww.
We've been domestic partners for 9.
Yes.
And then like officially married after that because of the marriage laws changing. We got married in our backyard in Eagle Rock, where we were living. We just moved to a new area. Boyle Heights.
Where do we live?
Right. Where do we live again? This is the new area.
Well, you don't ever have to drive away or to it anymore. You're pretty much just there.
Right. Well, and we bought the house too. So it's like this whole new like journey for us, like buying. Oh.
Oh, I know. It is kind of like a lot of pros and cons there, right?
Oh my gosh. I just didn't realize like how much they were like, yeah. No, wait. We've got to do things. There's like this. And there's this, but you want to do this? Great, we can go in. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. But wait,
but no.
And it's like, wait. I thought everything was okay. Well, no. Now we've got to do another inspection. Now we've got to wait for the people to finally decide. Wait, they haven't decided already? I'm confused. Like,
oh my gosh, yes. There's so many stages. There's so many. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh yes, that is a production. But are you happy that you own it now?
Oh, so happy. We love this property. It is amazing. I have a whole like drag room now instead of a garage closet.
That's amazing. And we have a fantasy about turning our back shed into my little like magic cottage. I'm gonna do it someday.
Yes, you should. The she shed.
Yes.
Or they shed.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be she shed. It can be in anybody's shed.
Yes, as long as it's an arts and crafts something, we don't care what it is.
It's just a creativity shed. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Then I can do my interviews there and not have to tell my kids to be quiet. I know I feel bad, but that's all right.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It's all right. We're surviving, but I would love to have somewhere I can just go and be like, this is mine, even if it's little. Oh
yeah, God. That's what we've been doing. Just taking like 2 or 3 hours and saying, okay, we're going to organize everything in this.
Oh,
God, and when we work in things together, we actually get things done a lot faster.
It's smart. It is good. I mean, I know. Do you do well together? We do pretty great together. I mean, we fight sometimes, but I think we do pretty darn well together, my husband and I.
I think if you don't fight with your husband, then there's something wrong in general. You've got to be able to communicate stress.
Yeah.
If you can't, then you're holding it up and doing other things with it, and that's not good.
Well, we're good fighters in this house. We fight until we're done, and then we get to the other side of it usually. I mean, it comes again, but we fight well.
There you go. And that's what it is. It's about fighting fairly, fighting well, and fighting and then being done and getting over it and pressing.
Yeah. But it's true. If you're passionate enough about somebody, you're going to fight. I mean, if you're not fighting at all, I don't know if you got enough passion in there.
Right. Where's the gumption? Where's the panache? Where's the spark, the spice?
Yeah, I know. Because you got to have something to fight for. Like, it matters, you know? It has to matter. Yeah. So it's good. It's good to know that you got enough fighting and enough good times. So where, how has this time affected you? Has it been so hard to stay in, or how has it been for you?
You know, I have a tendency to be a little bit of a recluse. So this time, actually, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to just sit here. There was a few days where I was gaming every day and just, you know, doing this like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and kind of, you know, see what happens tomorrow. And I was doing my emergency preparedness food. I always do that. Yes. So I was raised Mormon and military and did the whole Boy Scouts thing.
Oh my gosh.
Becoming fabulous Iona. And so
my husband grew up Mormon, and I was actually Mormon for a time. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's incredible. But I wouldn't call myself, but I keep some of the good parts.
Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Well, you keep the parts that that, you know, strike to your heart, and you know, the family, the like the commitment that you make to marriage and things like that, that is important. And you you kind of want to like keep to your promises and whatnot. And that's the basic human things that we should be doing.
Wow. Yes, and I think that's so beautiful. I love that, and because when you said emergency preparedness, I was like, oh my God, that sounds familiar.
I know, it's even the way I say it; it just drips with Mormon like.
There's a lingo. There is a whole lingo about that too, I bet.
Oh man.
Every little culture has its own words, and that certainly does have all these.
That is a hot topic word. Emergency preparedness.
I know, but it's handy right now. It is handy. You're right.
It is. I mean, you never know when electricity will go out, and we'll never get we won't get resources to like water or things. You know, you've got to be able to take care of yourself. Get a water bob, put it in your tub, and fill your tub with water, because that's going to be your water resources when things go out.
Wow, that's very good.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed. Were you one of the ones who actually had toilet paper when no one else did? Because we certainly ran out. Well, I have 3 kids, and we have a lot.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. 3 children.
In this house.
Oh, my goodness. Bless your heart, love. That's a lot to deal with.
It is. And they're really amazingly self-sufficient with their school and stuff. I mean, it's still bizarre and hard sometimes, and there are emotional days for sure. But we're hanging in there.
That's good. You know, little plans and projects and crafts really go well, and help take care of hours of time too.
I know. Well, what's amazing about my kids is they're so creative. Oh my gosh, and you will appreciate this. On one of the first days, like literally one of the first weeks of quarantine, they did my 2 younger ones, the 8 and 12-year-old, made a game show that was kind of like a little inspired by Nailed It. We had been watching that baking show Nailed It.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And they made it a fashion show, so that 3 of us, my husband and I and our oldest son, were all contestants, and we all had to create superhero costumes based on all this fabric and paper and stuff that they gave us. And they were like, they gave us a time limit. For some reason, it was 24 minutes. It was very specific. And they kept track of us, and we could like stop the other ones, and some people had to stop, and it was very well done. And then my daughter edited it, and it's like a total show. It's like so amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to look at that.
It was so amazing.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
So the creativity is endless in this household, always. And actually now we finally have time because everything isn't always homework and everything isn't always school activities. So actually there's like more creativity bursting out in this time. I mean, there is a lot of just maybe sitting around and watching stuff too, but there's a lot of creativity coming out of everybody here, which we're happy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And that's good. I'm so glad to hear. Like all of a sudden all at home, like I can hardly handle my husband being around for this long, much less have little children.
I know it is a lot. And I actually I take long walks, and I always have, but I particularly love my walks. And I'll call my mom who's in Ohio now. I literally go on walks with her and we just talk. And
oh, that's sweet. Lots of good connection with family. You gotta take every inch when you can. And nowadays, I mean, it's just, you never know when the last one's gonna be too, you know, you gotta just enjoy every moment.
They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. But to me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Oh, and I just now, before talking to you, watched that amazing video of you doing that performance of history repeating. It was really cool.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I appreciate that. Yes.
And I was moved.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was for a friend's show called Hollywood Morgue, and you know, going over, you know, dead stars in the past. And one of our friends, just before I got involved with the show, was like, "You need to do this number," and I'm like, "Actually, that's amazing." And so I was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, I have this on my mind. And they're like, so by chance, what would you be doing if you were in the show? And I'm like, oh my gosh, Shirley Bassey, the Propeller Heads, history repeating, you're in. And I was like, ah! Yeah, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. And I wanted to do something, you know, like very current at the time. You know, there's so much history repeating now.
It's all just a little bit of history repeating.
This is what I was going to ask you too, but I mean, I think you've sort of answered it, but I interviewed somebody who had like a stage name. I grew up with him doing high school theater with him, and I knew him as one name, and now he's got his like stage name. He had told me, you know, sort of his evolution of coming up with it and how it helps him sort of let the performer him it lets there be a difference between everything personal and performer him. And I was like, do you think there's more freedom as Iona? That's my question.
Oh, yes. I have a tendency to be very like quiet and be like, no, non-confrontational as you know, my other self. I mean, I feel like that Nathan is good to be able to like help me realize where I want to shine and where I need to, and where I need to come out of my shell more. And I do as Nathan, but as Iona, I'm fearless. I feel like, I'm going to say things to everybody. If they're not liking what I'm doing, I'm going to tell them and I'm going to let you have it. But as Nathan, I'm like, wait, should I say that? Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to cause a ruckus, you know, but as Iona, I just don't care.
So wonderful. I feel like everyone should have a drag character.
Yeah, right. And be the true inner self that they never thought they could, or that they always knew was there, but was never able to express it.
The one that we're not always able to just let out and speak. Right. And like Iona is so freeing. You're like, oh no, she tells everybody.
Oh yeah, she's loud, she's obnoxious, more than enough. Like you can hear me rooms away. But I also think that it's good because being like that all the time would completely exhaust you. There would just be times where it wouldn't be as special and things like that. And that's okay, where it's okay to be Nathan and let some of those things reside to him and let him take care of them, because he's just there and he's always willing to do that. So,
oh, I love that. So that does inspire me, because I really do think, I mean, I've thought of it like I imagine for Lady Gaga, for like people that have like, you know, decided like they've given themselves their sort of permission to be bigger, to be more of that.
There's so much more of a need for them to like go off and like do weird and crazy things, because there is no further outlet for them. With Nathan, I can be like, oh nope, I need to fix that. I'm going to do that with Iona. She's going to do that. She's going to be great. I can see her doing this. She's going to express this, what I want to feel, and go there and do that safely.
That's an amazing thing. Oh, that. Oh no, I am going to do that, but I'm going to do that as Iona because that's an Iona job. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's really nice to be able to just let go as Nathan and let Iona take the reins and be more loud and no or yay or don't do that, and whereas Nathan would do that, but it would take a lot. It'd take like something like in the street, like being beaten or something for Nathan to be like, stop that, yeah.
But Iona could give people a piece of her mind like nothing.
Oh, without even a shadow of a doubt, just be like, nope, I know, done. Like,
not okay or fabulous.
So that does help me as Nathan to try to say, okay, well, what would Iona do? And give myself as something as Nathan to say, okay, well, today is going to be a hard day and I'm feeling it and I'm feeling very emotional, but I've got to express that, and Iona would, so I'm going to do that. And what else how else am I going to fix this day that I don't want to go this way? What would Iona do? Well, she would start by doing something crafty and start doing something outside of her head. And then she would kind of go from there and start to express, but she wouldn't stay. So, it's really nice to be able to process through myself as either or, however it goes, wherever I need the extra little bit of support, I have it there.
I love that. WWID. What would Iona do?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Number stickers.
She would. And I also read Dolly Parton has a book, What Would Dolly Do? And she has the same kinds of things. And I just live by that kind of mantra of like love and energy and true positivity of the world and everybody around you. And even if you don't like them, guess what? You've got to give them positive energy, because they may not be giving it to themselves, or you're not going to do anything better with the solution or the situation by giving it negative energy. That sure is not going to make the bees go away. But, if you give them positive energy, you say from afar, you know what? I don't like you. I don't appreciate who you are. But I give you love and I give you energy just like I give everybody else, because everybody deserves that, whether you like what they do or not.
That's so good. And actually, probably especially if you don't like what they're doing, it's probably the ones who need your beautiful, positive energy the most. That's why it's hard. But I mean, that's where it is hard, right? When you're like,
exactly, where you're like, oh, the last thing I want to do is give them good. Right.
But it's like they need your good.
Well, and I need to be good just for the sake of being good.
Right. It's like don't do what people deserve. Love because it's what you do, not because people are necessarily deserving of your love in the moment.
Yeah. I've been watching this new interesting show on Netflix called Midnight Gospel, and it's this like really visually interesting show. But they do weird things, but it's all very like, there's lots of philosophy and there's lots of like, but what if we were to do this? So one of the things that they say is like, or one of the things that they mentioned is that Buddha talks about many principles, and one of them is not reacting to fear or something like that, like you would the sight of a bull. If you were to see a bull there, you'd be like, holy tits, there's a bull! Ah! And freak out, But that's what we're supposed to not do in the sight of fear or something like that. We're supposed to be like, and even like goes to the nature of things. Elephants respond to that. If you stand your ground and you're just calm and stand upright, elephants don't attack you. They only attack you if you're acting crazy and look weird. So yeah.
That's a good point. But yes, we do that fight or flight thing with fear, and then it makes it worse.
Yeah, and we confuse our own emotions. We confuse everything that the situation is going on with. It's all just turns to a fuddled mess, and it's no good.
Yes. That's love. Well, oh my gosh, I would love to talk to you more, but I probably want to wrap it up so that I can edit it and get it out there, because this is where
absolutely.
because I want to get you out there to my viewers, because it's so delightful. Just so much wisdom and kindness in you. I really love talking to you.
Oh, thank you, love. I really appreciate that. That's so sweet. Thank you so much for having me. This was the perfect time at the perfect day. You don't even know. This is is a re-inspiring of my own energy. So thank you.
I'm so glad to hear that, because honestly, I was on the phone with my mom earlier and feeling a little overwhelmed and feeling like, oh, I'm behind and I have other ones to edit and I feel dumb that I haven't finished X, Y, and Z. And I almost felt like I'm not ready for our 4:30 call. What if I'm not? And then my mom said, no, you are. This is what's going to help you. This is what's going to re-energize you. I want you to call me after you talk to Iona, because I think it's going to be particularly good for you. And I was like, thanks, Mom.
Oh my gosh, you are seriously making me tear. Thank you.
I really
think so much to me.
Right, because I do re-energize with people, and with people who have wonderful energy like you.
Thank you. And that's what we have to keep doing during this time of COVID, because we forget the connection that we make.
Yes, it's super important. So I am so glad I didn't wuss out and think I can't handle it.
Me too. I'm so glad we're here and we did this. And any other time you'd like to do this, please. It'd be so exciting.
I love it. Oh, thank you. So we'll do a follow-up someday. Maybe in person.
Oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Come do drinks in my backyard.
I'd love that. On location with Iona.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I can see it now.
I can't wait to put this out there on Discover Me TV and have more people get their eyes on you. How pretty you are.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you.
But again, not just pretty, like you were saying. It's not just pretty. You're much more.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I'm so glad I talked to you. So, yay.
Yay, me too. Thank you.
I'm putting this up.
Thank you. Chat soon, love.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.